Saudi Arabia is setting out on a fantastic extend building and counterfeit stream, the diminutive people the Nile in desire and measure, amplifying over 12,000 kilometers over its dry deserts. This colossal wonder isn't almost about making the world's longest underground canal. It's a groundbreaking endeavor to convert desolate sands into prolific lands utilizing progressed desalination innovation. The extend, unparalleled in scale, comes with an amazing budget that underscores the kingdom's commitment to overcoming its water shortage challenges by changing over seawater into freshwater. The manufactured stream is balanced to revolutionize agribusiness and supportability in one of the driest districts on the planet. With plans to water tremendous scopes of leaf, Saudi Arabia points to secure its water and nourishment needs and set a worldwide benchmark in natural advancement. Might this yearning venture turn the forsake kingdom into a desert garden of greenery, and how precisely do they arrange to do it? Saudi Arabia's travel with water has drastically changed over the past decades. At first, the nation depended on its nearby renewable water sources, utilizing characteristic water for small-scale cultivating and people's everyday water needs. But as time passed, things began to alter. The kingdom moved towards utilizing water from two essential sources that weren't approximately to run out rapidly: desalinated water from the ocean and old water buried profound within the ground, known as fossil groundwater. This move was enormous since it permitted Saudi Arabia to utilize water like nations with bounty of rain and waterways, supporting huge ranches and providing water for homes, shops, and production lines. Saudi Arabia has been exceptionally liberal with water, making it exceptionally cheap for its individuals. This driven to a noteworthy increment within the sum of water being utilized, particularly for farming. From 1980 to 1994, the water utilized within the nation about tripled, but much of this water came from underground stores that can't be refilled. By 1995, the government had utilized up much of this precious water. Up until 1994, individuals in Saudi Arabia didn't have to be paid for the water they utilized at domestic. It was totally free. But at that point, the government began charging a small bit for water utilized. Within the early 2000s, the government began considering in an unexpected way approximately how to construct and run water ventures. They needed offer assistance from businesses, not fair in making things like water plants, but moreover in paying for them and running them. Seeing the issue with utilizing so much water, the government in 2000 began to cut back on how much cash it gave to help with water costs. They energized agriculturists to utilize water more wisely with unused apparatuses like trickle water system that conveys water right to the roots of plants and sensors that check how sodden the soil is. This made a difference, decreased the sum of water utilized for cultivating. Wheat cultivating, which utilized a lot of water, started to diminish. It went from creating 4 million tons of wheat in 1992 to ceasing wheat cultivating inside and out by 2016. With no normal waterways, the kingdom has verifiably depended on oil as its financial spine and desalination plants to meet its water needs. In any case, recognizing the unsteady nature of these solutions in the long term, Saudi Arabia is presently balanced to set out on an extend that might rethink farming and water asset administration in dry zones. This groundbreaking project includes the creation of the world's biggest counterfeit stream, an endeavor that's not as it were brassy in its scope, but moreover progressive in its approach. Extending over 12,000 kilometers, this man-made wonder will be built underground, to begin with of its kind on such a scale. The extend is expected to deliver around 9.4 million cubic meters of water daily, utilizing state-of-the-art desalination innovation. This manufactured waterway will draw its source from the ruddy ocean, changing over saline water into a new consumable asset. The counterfeit stream will explore underground, outlined to play down vanishing misfortunes, a basic thought given the desert's extraordinary temperatures. Its width and profundity are built to guarantee a consistent stream able of coming to different parts of the country, counting its most arid districts. It could be a strong step towards accomplishing rural self-sufficiency in an arrive where such an objective has appeared unattainable. By presenting a maintainable and solid water source, Saudi Arabia trusts to develop greenery in its fruitless lands, subsequently decreasing its reliance on nourishment imports and differentiating its economy absent from oil. With a width of 11 meters and a profundity of 4 meters, This artificial conduit is balanced to outperform the notorious Nile waterway in scale. The Extend will consolidate specialized anti-corrosion channels measuring 2.25 meters in breadth to encourage freshwater transport over tremendous separations. This organize of channels is planned to be twice as long as the Nile waterway, emphasizing the project's amazing desire. This deed of engineering isn't close to making a modern water source, it's approximately reimagining water supply framework on an uncommon scale. The pipe framework alone, in case laid conclusion to end, could encircle the globe numerous times. Desalination, the method of evacuating salt and pollutions from seawater, is at the heart of this Extend. Two fundamental procedures are utilized: film desalination and warm desalination. Each method has its unique process and application, contributing to the project's in general proficiency. Film desalination includes pushing seawater through an arrangement of channels or films. These films permit water particles to pass through, whereas catching salts, minerals, and other impurities. The result is clean, drinkable water. This handle is profoundly proficient and can be worked at lower temperatures, making it a prevalent choice for large-scale desalination ventures. Warm desalination, on the other hand, works by warming the seawater. As the water warms up, it vanishes, taking off the salt and other minerals behind. The vapor at that point moves to a more loose range, condensing it into a fluid free of salt and pollutions. This refined water is at that point collected for utilized. Whereas warm desalination is more energy-intensive than layer filtration, it is effective and reliable, especially in regions with abundant energy assets. The Saline Water Transformation Enterprise, S2CC, a state-owned entity, plays an urgent part in this accomplishment. It supervises desalinated water generation over the kingdom, guaranteeing a steady supply of fresh water to meet the residential needs of its quickly developing populace and businesses. The SUCC works a few desalination plants along Saudi Arabia's eastern coast and other coastal locales, contributing to the country's standing as the top producer of desalinated water globally. With a yearly generation surpassing 1.6 billion cubic meters, Saudi Arabia accounts for 18% of the world's desalinated water yield. This enormous volume of water is significant for maintaining life and financial exercises in a nation where normal freshwater assets are essentially non-existent. The eastern coast plants produce 495.00 million cubic meters of this, add up to, whereas the coastal stations contribute another 51.3 million cubic meters. The country's 27 desalination plants give water and create 24,888,487 megawatt-hours of electrical vitality, displaying the coordinates approach Saudi Arabia has taken towards tending to its water and vitality needs at the same time. This vitality powers the energy-intensive desalination prepare and underpins the kingdom's framework, highlighting the key significance of these plants to the nation's supportability endeavors. In spite of the relative reasonableness of bringing in water, Saudi Arabia faces a squeezing challenge with its dependence on a single financial resource: oil. The kingdom's economy is intensely subordinate on oil incomes, which posture dangers due to fluctuating worldwide oil costs and the world's continuous move towards renewable vitality sources. Recognizing these vulnerabilities, Saudi Arabia has set out on a mission to expand its economy, diminish its oil reliance, and secure a more maintainable future for its citizens. Typically where the fake waterway venture comes into play. By contributing in such an endless and innovatively advanced water asset administration Extend, Saudi Arabia isn't simply tending to its prompt water shortage issues. It is laying the foundation for rural improvement, another key column in its methodology for financial enhancement. The vision to convert a Leave Kingdom into a arrive with one of the longest waterways made by people is as striking as rousing. What do you think approximately Saudi Arabia's activity? We'd adore to listen your considerations within the comments underneath. And in case you found this video edifying, keep in mind to like, share, and subscribe for more experiences and overhauls.